Credopard. Welcome to the Credopard, the podcast for all interested in sales, recruitment and service. Available on Amazon Music, Spotify, and many other platforms.
And here we go with our today's topic, inspiring quotes on LinkedIn. Stop wasting time. Do you know what the most popular channels on LinkedIn are? If your best guess is information about particular business topics, reality proves you wrong. The channels with the most extensive reach are neither meant to share insights or knowledge. They're actually the same as on Facebook or Instagram, inspiring quotes and kitchen wisdom. According to an article published by OMR, the link is listed in the description of this episode, the globally most successful channels are The Famous Lead with 2.2 million followers and Leadership First with 2.28 million followers. The best listed German-speaking account is Positive Thoughts with more than 690,000 followers. Once you look at the content that can be found there, it makes one wonder how this last mentioned channel can be a big thing. To give you some context, allow me to share the following with you. I quote, "Don't think you deserve the job? Apply for it anyway. Don't think your article is good enough? Publish it anyway. Don't think they'll reply to your email? Send it anyway. Don't self-reject." No, I read it correctly. Apparently, putting question marks and exclamation marks in the correct order is challenging for people engaged there. The pseudo-motivational, cheap philosophic post is just an example standing for many others. One can find blind dogs, handicapped elephants, and advice such as that life is interesting due to its challenges, and coping with them gave it a meaning. The more emotion, the better. A woman that mastered something? Great. If it is a woman of color, even better. And a disabled woman of color? Fantastic. Please understand me correctly. This is not about me being misanthropic. It is about the fact that many of these stories are made up or taken from other channels. It is often both an imaginary story taken without any authorization from another publisher. This constant flow of bullshit, sorry for me being here quite explicit in my language, is interrupted by adverts for water cookers, Bluetooth devices and other consumer goods. Rarely one will find a post with less than 200 likes. Many of them got several thousand. I'm happy for every successful storyteller, and it is not jealousy driving me to share this with you. Of course, I would love to have such an impact with my humble activities on LinkedIn. The reason I'm speaking about this phenomenon is a different one. Why, for heaven's sake, are these posts so popular? Well, there's a cynical explication stating that these inspiring posts were predominantly so successful because there were a lot of bored professionals out there trying to pass their time while not being really motivated to do their job. While it was less socially acceptable to browse on Facebook or Instagram during working hours, scrolling through LinkedIn for researching information was okay. Sounds convincing, but is that really the reason behind this impressive success? Corresponding to a survey taken by Kinster, approximately 40% of all users on LinkedIn are opening the site at least once daily. This means that more than 300 million people are going online every day. The average time on the network, though, was just 17 minutes monthly. This leaves less than 1 minute for every Labor Day. HubSpot published recently a statistic suggesting that 75% of all LinkedIn engaged sales professionals claim that they already achieved at least one sale through this professional network. when seeing these figures, one might wonder how this really can work out. A sale is not necessarily done within less than a minute. A bored professional is not just spending less than a minute on a network, and why several marketeers constantly claim that creating high-quality content, engaging with the target group and being visible as a person would be a critical success factor when popular feeds such as positive thoughts do not interact at all. Well, the explication for these contradicting findings is simple yet challenging. All of them are absolutely right. Bullshit can get you a lot of followers, fed out of the community of those professionals that are predominantly interested in passing their time. High quality content and personal interaction will allow you to engage with decision makers and drive your success. Though a large reach of posts is not an excellent indicator for measuring success, at least not if you're not looking to sell adverts for consumption goods. It is like deciding whether to follow the Golden Arch or the Guide Michelin. When thinking about the fact that more than 33 million C-level professionals are represented on LinkedIn, as someone engaged in the B2B area, you have to make a decision. Are you fast food or haute cuisine? Indeed, all those CEOs, presidents and VPs have a hamburger too from time to time, but it's not where they leave their money. Now, since Credopard is predominantly engaged in the healthcare sector, I was interested in physicians and their approach to LinkedIn. Are they more in hamburgers, or do they prefer a fancy meal in a 3-star restaurant? When searching for physicians in Germany, some 65,000 names are displayed. This represents approximately 15% of all German physicians. 1,400 of them claim to be self-employed. 80% state that they are engaged in hospitals. This leaves approximately 50,000 who might be employed or are simply not interested in showing their professional status. What are these people looking for? What do they eat, to stay in the metaphor? The answer is frustrating. Apparently, they do not eat at all. When reviewing 100 randomly selected profiles, I noted that they had, on average, some 20 contacts and didn't show any activities in the last 3 months. No posts, likes or comments. Nothing. This might be due to their chosen data protection settings or because they simply do not care for LinkedIn. That caused a huge question mark on my end. Why did they bother with setting up a profile and deciding that they didn't care at all? To find out, I approached some physicians and asked for a call. The first surprise, many of the contacted individuals responded to my request and agreed on a call. A huge thank you to all of them. The answers to my question were quite similar. There were 2 main reasons for the lack of activity. They didn't have the time and were unsure about what to do with the network. These points are a clear call to action as they underline the necessity for creating attractive, engaging and meaningful content. The fact that I received an overwhelmingly positive response to my request also proves that our claim made in episode 35 about giving your sales force the freedom to use LinkedIn is valid. Some pharmaceutical companies have already understood the potential benefits created by LinkedIn for their ability to communicate with their target group. In some cases, these activities are coordinated by marketing. In some, medical sales reps have taken on the task for themselves. The first results are showing that it works. While it is too early for sharing some final figures, the achieved numbers suggest that using LinkedIn for engaging with physicians can make a difference in the area of brand perception and the share of voice. We should never forget that the currency success is measured in the future is engagement, not euros, because it is engagement that eventually triggers the flow of finances. With this said, it's time for Polly to summarize today's key findings. Polly, would you do me the honor, please?
Indeed, LinkedIn is a business network, but it is also an excellent place for passing the time, allowing bored professionals to get through their day. If seeking success in the B2B area, don't fall for huge numbers. They are false friends, as what you are looking for is to get your target group's attention. This target group is probably not very bored of their job but short on time, seeking meaningful information that stands out at once. If you are engaged in healthcare, take the time for speaking with a social media expert. At Credopard, we are happy to consult you and bring you in contact with vendors experienced in creating a sustainable communication strategy for you and your brand.
Thanks a lot, Polly. When you too would like to experience what we do this for you signifies for you and your organisation, contact us by phone on +49 for Germany 6102 375 3440 or click on www.credopard-solutions.de. Like and subscribe to our podcast for receiving your weekly update. Credopard is available on Apple Podcast, TuneIn, Spotify and other major platforms. Suppose you would like to suggest a topic or provide feedback, please send an email to info@credopard.de. Our topic next week: claws or nails, the difference between headhunting and recruitment. In the meantime, I wish you all the success you doubtlessly deserve. Stay healthy and remember, Credopard, we do this for you.